Hello and welcome to season 3, episode 6 of the Raider Power Podcast. I'm Ryan, and with me as always is my man Moss. Our boy Evan can't make it today, but how are you doing today, Moss?
I am doing just dandy.
Dude, make life dandy if you will. Um, yeah, Evan's not here, which means we can talk as much shit about Wells as we want. So I'm
Thank
pretty excited.
God.
I'm ready to go off the rails.
Let's go off the rails. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's jump right into it after that absolute piss poor performance against the TCU Horned Frogs. Which might have been just the worst showing of offense I've ever seen in my life.
I totally agree with you. I don't know what we were thinking throughout most of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
almost like 85% of the game. There was absolutely no offense on really either side of either team in the first half. Really, it was just absolutely terrible.
First half was nothing.
I will say that our defense performed very well in the first half, and I guess you have to give credit. Well, honestly, no. I don't think I would give that much credit to TCU's defense in the first half. I think Texas Tech had negative 23 yards on the first 5 possessions. I believe that's correct.
There was 4 sacks in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Columbia just got lit up.
They had a 3rd and 21 followed up by a 3rd and 15. The offensive game plan was just garbage. They really scored 3 points. They had 2 long balls, one of which was because the defender fell down.
Yeah.
I'm not like it was great 60-yard touchdown. Love that, but it was because he fell down. It was an underthrown ball. The second one was actually a well-thrown ball to Azakama. That was a great throw.
That was a great throw.
But that was like basically the whole offense. The only good offensive play of the game was that throw.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the other one was, it happened. It was a great outcome, but not a great play. That was the only good play on the offensive side of the ball in the whole game. I mean,
it was awful.
Columbia's just not a Power 5 quarterback. Let's be honest. He's not built for playing in a Power 5 league. The Texas Tech has averaged like 20 points a game with him as quarterback. He throws for 210 a game.
Yep.
Has 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Like, he just does.
I totally agree with you, Ryan. He is not a Power 5 quarterback. I think he's got the legs that can kind of contribute to how Texas Tech wants to run its offense, but I just don't think he's talented enough to be a starting QB in the big.
We saw the legs. We saw the legs in one game. He didn't move well in this game at all.
I'm saying he has the legs.
But it doesn't matter if he doesn't know how to use them.
All I'm saying is that Yost wants a mobile quarterback, right? And that is his best option with a dual threat quarterback.
I'm not even sure if that's true. I think he needs someone who can move because the offensive line isn't good. I don't know if that's his ideal quarterback. I just think that Texas Tech needs it.
I'm not saying Columbia is their ideal quarterback. I'm saying that Yost has gone out and said several times that he wants a dual threat quarterback in his system. That's how he opens up his system, is having someone that can run and throw.
I mean,
I guess you could say that for really any system,
though.
That's what he was saying, that he wants to build around this Texas Tech team, is somebody that can both run and throw the ball. In theory, I mean...
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Columbia, that can do both. But
all right.
They didn't even do it at Utah State. They didn't have a great dual threat quarterback then. Like,
are you saying it's Columbia's fault that we lost this game?
And I think Yost and Wells are the reason we lost this game.
Are you saying that who's the most to blame for losing this game?
Matt Wells.
Yeah, there it is. Dude, this guy sucks.
I mean, obviously.
This guy
he's also
sucks.
the guy who put Columbia in. Like, I'm not saying Bowman should have stayed as quarterback, but Columbia needs to go. Put in Maverick McIver for the last 3 games and let him just get some reps. Or put Bowman back in so he doesn't transfer. Because Columbia's not the answer. He's not a Power 5 quarterback. They're never going to win with him.
Do you think that maybe that Bowman just was too rattled, and then maybe Wells made... I don't know. I kind of going back to what you said a couple episodes ago about how they were trying to call a bad game plan for Bowman, because it kind of seems like it is that way, that they were trying to get Bowman out of the starting QB position.
Yeah, I mean, but now this looks foolish. The offense is worse. Even with Bowman playing bad, the offense is better.
I agree.
I mean, put him back in or put in Maverick. They need to do something different at quarterback, or Baylor's going to absolutely romp them as well.
Unfortunately, this is not like the NFL, and we're not the Jets that can just tank the rest of the season and pick up better draft picks. You need to perform. You need to see some kind of light.
Otherwise, you get worse players. Yeah, better.
Yeah, you just need to see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, which I'm not seeing. I thought I saw a little bit after the West Virginia game, but the defense is, dude. I honestly don't know what to say.
The run defense is really, really bad.
Yeah, I honestly
don't... That's for 3 weeks in a row. They got ran all over.
I just don't know what to say about the defense because it's like first half they looked pretty good, held them to 10. Second half got ran over, 24 points scored on them. I mean, you go back a week to Oklahoma, get lit up by Iowa State. I mean, where's the hope, man? Where is the hope in this program? I don't see anything.
Like the secondary's decent. I guess that's kind of cool. But like the run defense is so bad. I mean, Duggan, the quarterback for TCU, like we talked about it last week. Like he's not a thrower. He's not a very good thrower. He only threw for 73 yards.
Yeah.
But that didn't matter. They still scored 34 points because he just ran all over them. Did you see his 2 wicked long runs he had? Like the 75-yarder?
Oh yeah, I watched the game.
He had on those 2 runs, which combined for 150 yards on those 2 fucking runs. He had one guy touch him.
Yeah.
Like, the holes were massive. There was no one even near him. It's not that he broke tackles. There was no one near him.
All right. So we can both agree that this game sucked. Now, let's move on to a very controversial subject, which is Matt Wells driving the ball late fourth quarter. Timeouts, has his timeouts. It's second down, and he decides to kick a field goal. Why?
I have no idea.
No one has any idea. There's not a single commentator or reporter for Texas Tech that has said, yeah, I can understand why he did that. Not a single commentator or anybody that's been reporting on Texas Tech for decades even. I mean, it's idiotic.
It makes no sense. Like, it's not that last second field goal to tie the game in the fourth quarter. It's not that at all. It's just a second down field goal.
It's not even like, okay, there's 45 seconds left in the game. We're down 10 points or 2 scores in some cases, and we have to hit the field goal and then get an onside kick. Like, it's not like they needed an onside kick. That's what I'm trying to say, is like he just decided to kick a field goal for really no reason. I honestly don't know. And especially because I don't think Texas Tech had made a field goal going into that game. So to put the entire weight of the game on your kicking unit, which is arguably their worst unit in the entire team, right? They haven't even kicked a field goal.
I don't know. The offense and defense are pretty bad too.
Okay, whatever. All I'm saying is it's pretty ridiculous that Matt Wells made that decision.
It makes no sense at all. I mean, I don't know what it goes through the guy's head. And, does he want to get fired?
And honestly, I don't know. And Jarrett Johnson in the the post game press conference, Don Williams asked him the question, like, what were you thinking about when you were kicking the field goal? And he goes, we knew we needed 2 scores. It was on my mind from the beginning of the drive, which doesn't make any sense. And then Jarrett followed up because prior, do you remember the game against UT where he took a timeout on 4th down and he could have ran out the clock and just went to overtime or taken a Hail Mary, but he called timeout because he didn't know what down it was. So Jarrett goes, did you know what down it was? And he goes, yes. So, I mean, dude, it's an honest question. Like, you've screwed up before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's not the right play, even if that's what he was thinking was we need 2 scores, so I'll take the 3 now. If you're driving and you need 10 points, you go for the touchdown first. You don't just kick something on second down. You try to get in the end zone so that you can hit a field goal as time expires from deep if you really need to.
Matt Wells is not the saving grace of this team. I don't see Matt Wells turning this team around. I don't see Matt Wells could have all the talent in the world. He has made very, very questionable coaching decisions. He's not a good coach, man. He's just not.
He's just not.
He's just not a good coach. I don't know why Kirby you know, Kirby is a great AD, and you can look like the success of the other sports at Tech, baseball, you know, basketball, greatest coaching hire I think in the sport in the last decade, really.
Yeah.
I think he just jumped the gun with this one, and he chose. And I think Matt Wells probably sold himself, and I think Kirby kind of got sold on this whole persona of Matt Wells being this like humble, like trying to do the same thing as Chris Beard, but he's not, because Chris Beard doesn't really have an ego, but he actually performs at a level like, you know, top of the league. Really, I don't know. Matt Wells sucks. I want Matt Wells gone.
I mean, it's just like baffling that he's still like he's the coach of Texas Tech, and these are the decisions that are being made. I have to think like maybe he got hired because like Jordan Love made Matt Wells look good at Utah State.
Maybe.
Is that what happened?
I don't know. I think he needs to go. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be this year. He got lucky with having COVID.
I mean, is Matt Wells the college Adam Gase? Think about this, right? So Adam Gase has Peyton Manning, and everyone thinks he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that he was the worst head coach ever at Miami and still is at the Jets. And they blamed Ryan Tannehill for Adam Gase, when in reality it was Adam Gase. You know, and then you got Matt Wells. He coaches at Utah State. His quarterback is Jordan Love, who, you know, ends up getting drafted in the first round to the NFL, like right after Matt Wells left.
In a subpar league.
His last year, you know, he throws for 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, so maybe it was purely the player, not the coach at all. So now you got Matt Wells over to, you know, Texas Tech, and people are thinking, oh, maybe him and Yost know what they're doing. Yost is a good offensive coach. Nope, they have no idea what they're doing. Then they take a quarterback who's good like Bowman, just like Tannehill was really good in Miami, make him look like shit, and then you move on to the next quarterback and ruin him too. So you know what? Matt Wells is Adam Gase.
That is a great clip for YouTube. Great clip for the Instagram. That'll be going on. Let us know your thoughts on Adam Gase versus Matt Wells. I don't know which one. I kind of like Adam Gase, though, because I like this whole Jets tanking situation. I can't believe that they lost that game on purpose.
Matt 100%. Wells is also a tank commander, but kicking field goals on second down. He's literally calling Gase on, like, at night and like asking him what to do.
Gase... All right, Gase is really good at tanking. Like, he's amazing. Like, him losing that game to the Pats was incredible. Like, it was
masterful.
That takes a lot of talent. What Matt Wells is doing takes a lot of stupidity.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
I don't know. All I know is we got Baylor this week.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, Baylor might be 1-4, but if you look at the games they've played, they had a close one against Iowa State, 1 score. They kept it closer against TCU. Texas game, not that bad, and they lost to West Virginia in overtime. So you know what? I'm afraid of Baylor.
I don't. To be honest, Ryan, I see nothing from Texas Tech. I see nothing. I don't see any kind of flow on offense. I don't really. It's the same kind of feeling that you got when Cliff was there, only it's like constant on defense. I mean, I don't really see any real improvement or any kind of like stability in the defense. I don't think the players are even hyped up to be playing for this team. I think it's just like an L.
Normally, I feel like you see the receivers going off when they score a long touchdown, like really celebrating. They didn't give a fuck.
No, there's no brotherhood in this one. I think the season's kind of an L at this point.
The only thing that might give them a chance is Baylor can't run the ball, and they just lost their best rusher, so they'll be throwing. So maybe there's a chance, but I don't really think there is. And if they start Henry Colombi and keep him in for the whole game, it's going to be basically like driving a car into a wall repeatedly. Nothing's going to change. You're just going to get the same result, and we're going to put up 20 points and lose 35-20.
I think the summary of this section is Matt Wells is not the guy.
Nope.
He's not the guy.
Get everyone that was at Utah State out of the state of Texas.
I think we need to run him out of town. He's not the guy. Let's just give him his money and let him go back to Utah. He can create his own little compound there. Him and Yost.
Yeah.
Unlimited Diet Coke and Skittles or Dr. Pepper. Well, moving on to a brighter spot. Texas Tech
basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we are getting close, man.
We're 2 weeks out from the first game.
Did you see the ad that they did with Mac McClung where they were
That
saying
was unbelievable. He is so fundamental. When he gets his first free throw attempt, this crowd's gonna be lit. I'm telling you, Texas Tech basketball has the best marketing department of any team in college.
I think it's all Chris Beard as well. I think it's Chris Beard just loving the Sports Center commercials in The Office. You remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
Dude,
Chris Beard
same
just
vibe.
loving them. I think that's his sense of humor too, and I think he's just
That's incredible. That's exactly the vibe those are.
because Texas Tech did do a commercial like Sports Center in The Office with like Tariq Owens and him swatting away like a ball or something like that, and like
That's
I don't know.
definitely Chris Beard definitely watches those on YouTube at night and
Oh,
giggles.
100%, dude. Chris Beard is a funny guy. Well, we came out in preseason rankings at number 14 in the AP poll. I like that ranking. I think
So
I
I'm
don't
going to
care.
say two things about it. I don't care. I think they're going to get up into the top 5 pretty quickly, honestly.
I
I really
agree.
do think they're that good. But the one thing that I think is going to be talked about in the locker room was a little bit of disrespect in the Big 12 polling. Did you see the Big 12 polling?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know that
They
was
were-
out.
Yeah, they projected Tech to come in 5th in the Big 12.
5th.
You know, the Big 12 is pretty fucking strong this year. In the AP preseason, you got Baylor at number 2,
Yeah, Baylor at number 2. Kansas, I believe, is at number 4, and I think we were 14, and then I believe West Virginia was 15.
West Virginia's 15, and then Texas
Was like number 19, I believe. Or yeah, I think maybe Texas was like number 19 or something.
yeah, they're 19.
So you're telling me that
there are 6 teams in the top 20, 5 teams in the top 20, but in the Big 12 preseason, we were ranked to come in last out of those 5 teams.
so the top 5 in the Big 12, they're saying that Baylor's number 1, Kansas is number 2.
Mhm.
Who's number 3?
West Virginia.
West Virginia was number 3, Texas was number 4, and we were number 5.
Yep. I love
Really?
that disrespect. That's going to get the boys going.
Oh my god, it's probably pissing
You know
Chris Beard
Beard
off.
wants to win the 12.
Oh my
He
god.
wants to win the Big 12.
Well, I just read an article last night about Mac McClung, and they were saying like, oh, you know, what's the difference between Georgetown and Texas Tech? And he goes, well, Georgetown wants to make the tournament, we want to win the tournament. So
I love that.
That's all he was saying. He's like, none of us are here just to make it. We're all here to win the tournament. So
I love that.
I think that goes back to what I was talking about maybe a couple episodes before. I just think that this team. I think Chris Beard said it. This team wants to win more than any team he's ever coached. So I like the preseason ranking just because it gives a little bit better odds for betting on them to win the national championship.
And also, gives you give them a little bit of room to grow. They'll get up there pretty quick. You'll start feeling pretty good. But I honestly think that the Big 12, it's top heavy. You got 5 really good teams this year. But I think that you could see 3 teams in the tournament that are ranked either number 1 or number 2 out of the Big 12.
You
can have 3 of the top 8.
I mean, you also got to think though, like Oklahoma State's gonna be pretty good this year too.
They're always pretty good. TCU always can play defense.
Yeah, I think didn't Oklahoma State get the number 1 overall recruit? Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham was number 1 in the Big 12. He's high ranked, but he wasn't the number 1. But he was an AP first team All-American.
Yeah, I mean Oklahoma State has some good pieces. I think that they're going to be a force to reckon with in the Big 12. It's just going to be the same stories every year before. Really great teams in the Big 12. Every game's going to be competitive. I just think that if Texas Tech gets things going how they want to get going, I don't see anyone really stopping them.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham was number 2 overall recruit, by the way.
Number 2? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just
and the kid that went number 1 went straight to national basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. I'm pumped. We're 10 days away? You said 10 days away from the beginning of Texas Tech basketball. Is that right? 10 days. All right, he cut out a little bit. Anyways, we are pumped here at the Raider Power Podcast for college basketball. Not so much for football right now, just because of the poor performance. But
I would cancel the rest of the football games for basketball to start tomorrow.
Yes, I 100% would do that. And I would try to start a petition to try to get Chris Beard as the football coach as well, because I think he might have some good ideas about how to bring this team together.
Yeah, 4-1, baby.
4-1. That's all I got,
I'm
Ryan. I'm Chris. And this has been the Raider Power Podcast. Guns up, buddy.
Guns up.
Nice.